In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Trello Shortcuts. Trello is a great online tool that you can use to help manage your blog and your workflows. So first off, what is a shortcut? Shortcut is a where you can use a key to get at a function faster. So it may take 3 clicks to open up the labels menu. You can use the shortcut and it will quickly pull it up right away. So with Trello, one of the big things that we use are boards. It's the top of the hierarchy of our organization. And so if you want to create a new board, quickly access another board, what you're going to type is the letter B, and it will pull up the menu here on this side. And so you can see any additional boards you might have. You can start typing in the name of a board, workflow, and then you can easily create that board from this menu here. So the next thing that we want to create quickly is a list. So typically you can scroll all the way down, add another list here, but if you want to add a list in a specific spot, or you don't want to scroll all the way to the end, there aren't a keyboard shortcut, but what you can do is you can double click. So if you want to add a list in between these two lists, you'll double click there, type in a list name, go ahead and add it, and it will add in between those two list items. Otherwise, you can click anywhere on your board and it will allow you to add a list to your board. The next thing that we use frequently in Trello, that we create in Trello, are cards. So the shortcut for creating a card in Trello is you're going to hover. So say I want to add a card here in the third slot here. You'll hover over the card above, and then you're going to select the letter N, and it will allow you to create a new card there. And so I also want to show you a couple little tricks here when creating a card. So let's title it a blog post here. And so in this menu here, you can quickly add a label, and you can quickly designate where you want this card to go. So I want to give it a label here. So to give it a label, you're going to type in the hashtag symbol or Octothorpe sign here, and then you can either type in the color of the label, or you can type in the the name of that label. So for this board here, I have what you'll see, the red, the green, and the yellow. Red being high priority, yellow being medium, green being low priority. So say for this blog post, we're going to make it a high priority, so you can type in red, and then you can select your label there, or I could have typed in high and select the label there as well. And then we're going to also add, so select it, and then we're going to also add a position. You can also designate the position. So say, oh, I actually want this at the top of it, or I want it at the bottom of it. What you can do is you can do just kind of the up arrow here, and then you can type in a position, so it can be moved to first position, it can move to the 5th position, or you can move it to the top, or you can type in bottom. So, and then it will move it down there, and then you can add your card. So those are a couple little hints, shortcuts that you can use when creating a card from the get-go. One thing I also want to point out, start typing in your task here, create Pinterest image, and then you decide, oh, quick, I actually want to do that task today. Instead of like entering it, hitting enter, dragging the card over, you can immediately move over to the list that you want, and that details will continue to follow with you. So you can add that card to a different list easily that way. So the next shortcut we're going to talk about has to do with cards as well. So you type out your card. We'll scroll over here a little bit. We're going to create header image. And then instead of hitting enter and then having to click into the card, to go immediately to the back end of the card, you are going to hit shift and enter. So we'll do shift and enter, and it will immediately open up so you can add more detail into your card. I find that this is helpful because a lot of times I'll create a card and then I'll need to add more description inside of it, and this just makes it quick and easy to get into that card right away, to add that description to that card that you've created. So if you, we've talked about creating boards, creating lists, and creating cards. The quick way to get rid of a card is to hover over it and hit the keyboard shortcut C, and it will immediately archive that card and get it off of your list. Some other things you might want to do to a card quickly. We talked about one way to add a label, but if you want to access the labels menu, hover over that card and hit the letter L, and it will pull up your labels menu here, and then you can easily give it a label from the labels menu. Another thing is giving a due date. So you can use the shortcut using the letter D, and then you can enter the due date, set the reminder, add it to your card. And then the next one, a lot of times you are going to assign a member to a card, whether that be yourself or someone else. To easily assign yourself to the card, you're going to hit the spacebar, and then you'll see the picture of yourself added to that card. We assign a member. Whoever is a member or is watching a card will get notifications related to what's happening with that card. So if you want to assign, if you want to pull up the kind of the member dialog box to assign someone else beside yourself, you're going to hover over that card and select the letter M, and then it will pull it up here. Currently there's no additional members to assign to this board, but you can easily assign a member that way. And then when it comes, another tip when it comes to adding a label to a card is let's pull up that labels menu using our short key L here. Each of these labels here has a designated number. So green is 1, yellow 2, orange 3, red 4, 5 and 6 here. And so with those numbers in mind, so we're going to assign something with high priority, we're going to use the number 4. When we hover over the card, type the number 4 and it will immediately add that label to it. So that's kind of a nice way also to label your cards quickly. You do have to become familiar with that order and what label is what number, but it's a very quick way to add a label to a card. If you want to remove a label, just hit that number again. And then a lot of times, sometimes we need to filter our cards. So the shortcut key for that is you're going to hit the letter F, and then it will pull up this filter menu here. You can search by a term, you can search by a label, by a member, or by kind of a due date here. So if I want to see all the cards that have a high priority, I can see it here. And then if you want to get rid of that filter, you can select up there. And then if you want to see all of the cards that you're assigned to, the keyboard shortcut for that is Q. So it will immediately pull up all the tasks that you're assigned to, so you can get rid of any other members' tasks and just kind of see the things that you need to get done. And then to get out of that, you can hit the Q key as well. Another thing that you may want to do is to search for something quickly. So to get your cursor to the search bar, you're going to hit this / button here, and then it will immediately move you to that search bar, and you can start typing looking for any cards with a keyword or phrase, there, and it will pull it up in the search results. Typically it will show in the search results, it will show you the cards related to this board first, and then if there's any other cards from different boards, it will show up here as well. The final shortcut that you can use is the question mark. So if you forget any of these shortcuts, you need some help, just hit the question mark and you can pull up a nice list of the Trello shortcuts here. So it's kind of a nice, easy way to, if you forget these shortcuts at any time, just enter the question mark button and you can see the cheat sheet there. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Definitely play with these shortcuts, get used to them because they can help speed up your workflow in Trello.